everyone, I'm Mrs. Caird, a librarian at Linwood Holton Elementary School, and today I'm going to read this book called Bear Came Along. The author is Richard T. Morris, and the illustrator is Lee Win Pham. If you look down here at the bottom corner, you see this silver emblem. The emblem says Caldecott Honor Award. Do you remember what a Caldecott Award is given for? If you said illustrations, you were right. This award is named after Randolph Caldecott and is given to outstanding picture books. So you can expect to see some fabulous illustrations in this book, along with an excellent story. Before we get started, let's look at some vocabulary words that we will see in this book. One word is adventure, described as an unusual and exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. The picture I chose was a person mountain climbing, which would be an adventure. Curious means eager to know or learn something. This picture is Curious George. He is a monkey who likes to learn new things. Detour is a long or roundabout route that is taken to avoid something or to visit somewhere along the way. You often see this sign on the road when road work is being done. Content means in a state of peaceful happiness. It means you are happy with the way things are. The last word is separate. This word can have two different meanings and sounds. It could be the verb separate with a long A sound, and that's the action to move things apart. But in this story, it's used as an adjective, separate, with a short vowel sound, meaning forming or viewed as a unit apart or by itself. Okay, we are ready to read the story. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Bear Came Along by Richard T. Morris and illustrated by Lee Win Pham. Once there was a river that flowed night and day, but it didn't know it was a river until Bear came along. Bear was just being curious when he realized what the river could do. But he didn't know he was on an adventure until Froggy hopped on. Froggy was a lonely frog who was looking for a friend, but she didn't know how many she had. Until the turtles showed up. The turtles tried to warn them about the things that could go wrong, but they didn't know how to enjoy the ride. Until Beaver climbed aboard. Beaver was born to captain. He knew exactly where to go, but he didn't know about the detours until the raccoons dropped in. The raccoons were so excited about the twists and turns ahead, but they didn't know they had to be careful until they crashed into Duck. Duck was so content being right where she was, but she didn't know there was a world to see. Until... Stop for a second and see if you could predict what might happen next by looking at this picture. Looking at this picture, how do you think the animals are feeling? What captions would you add for these animals if you could? Bear held on to Froggy. Froggy held on to Turtles. Turtles held on to Beaver. Beaver held on to Raccoons. Raccoons held on to Duck. Oh, what a ride! So many different animals living their separate lives, but they didn't know they were in it together until the river came along. The end. You can find this book in the Everyone section of the library with the call letters E-M-O-R. Now, see if you can answer a few questions about the story. Is this book fiction or nonfiction? How do you know? What lesson do the animals learn in this story? The animals go on an adventure. Write about an adventure you would like to go on, and then illustrate it.